Welcome to the PM Pulse, continuing PMP in practice series by Palak Shah and Archana Chaudhary. In this video, learn about mastering PMP language part 1.
So PMP terminology is speaking the language of project management, and key idea is that the PMP exam assesses your understanding of terminology and concepts outlined in the PMBOK, which is project management body of knowledge published by the PMI Project Management Institute. So our goal is to understand the precise PMI specific meaning of core terms to correctly interpret exam questions and project scenario.
So let's start with one of the most foundational PMP term, and that's the project charter. This is the document that formally authorizes the existence of a project. Without it, the project technically doesn't exist in the eyes of the organization. So think of this charter as the license to lead. It gives the project manager some official authority to apply organizational resources, whether that's people, it's about budget, or it's about resources, equipment, or even any project activities. That's what will be there in this charter. A common confusion as already that happens is, like I see among PMP aspirant, is mixing up this project charter with project management plan. So clarifying that the charter is not a detailed plan, it's more like high level agreement or go signal from the sponsor that says yes, we are moving forward with this initiative. Now, one of the exam tips on this would be, if you see a question where the project hasn't been formally approved, or the PM doesn't yet have authority, the answer would likely be involving it on developing or obtaining the project charter on it. So it's kind of a phrase that comes always like formally authorizing the project existence and gives the PM authority to apply resources. So if you get some direct questions on this, that's all about it. It's a kind of high level agreement and it authorizes the project existence on it. Now we move to the next slide, which is on the project management plan. This project management plan, what we would cover, it's all about a comprehensive document. It defines how the project will be executed, how it will be monitored and controlled. It's essential that the master plan is a comprehensive document that defines how the project will be executed, monitored, and controlled. It's essentially integrating all subsidiary plans, which is like scope management, schedule management, cost, quality, risk, procurement, communication, stakeholder plan. So it integrates all of these and forms a project management plan. If the charter tells us why we are doing the project, the project management plan tells us how we will do it. So the key concept is the plan what we have is equal to the baseline. So this means that the plan sets the standard and we will measure the performance against it. So when you compare the actual progress or cost to the plan, you are really checking how well you are performing against the baseline on scope baseline or schedule baseline or cost baseline. During the exam, you watch for wordings that distinguish between planning and execution. If the question mentions how the project will be managed or refers to integrating the subsidiary plan, the correct answer likely would be project management plan. The work breakdown structure, or WBS, this is a deliverable oriented breakdown of the total scope of work. Think of it taking a large complex project and slicing it into smaller, more manageable pieces until each piece is clear enough to plan, estimate, and execute. Now, bringing it to a relatable analogy, imagine building a house. The WBS would start with like level one, which is build a house. Then you break it down into major deliverables, could be like foundation or structure or roof interiors and landscaping. Each of those is further decomposed. For example, interiors, flooring, tiling, grouting. This continues until you reach the level where you can assign to someone, which could be a work package. So this is something similar of how we deliver a WBS or work breakdown structure. WBS isn't like a schedule or list of tasks only. It's focused on deliverable, and it tells us what must be delivered, not only like when and whom. So it gives you the integrated work package itself, defining the total scope. It's nothing outside, like WBS should be part of the project, or and it provides the foundation for cost estimating, scheduling, risk identification. We can definitely use that for WBS. It helps in preventing scope creep if it is being managed and continuously monitored. It serves as a communication tool as well, a very good communication tool for us to look into and align all our stakeholders when we talk about the delivery of the project. In short, work breakdown structure is your project blueprint for scope. If the project is the map, WBS is like a GPS that ensures everyone is driving towards the same destination.
Okay, next is scope creep. It occurs when adding features or functionality to the project without addressing the effects on time, cost, and resources. So even if it seems minor or well-intentioned, it can disrupt timelines, exhaust resources, and dilute project focus. So let's say your client casually asks to add a new dashboard to the reporting tool, and your team starts building it without a formal change request. That's a scope creep. Even small changes, if unmanaged, it can snowball into missed deadlines and budget overruns. So it's always a negative term on the exam, and it is prevented by using a change control process. So any changes, they need to go through the integrated change control process, assess the impact, and update the project baseline accordingly. Okay, so what is the project baseline? That's the next term. So baseline could be for scope, schedule, or cost is the approved version of the work plan. Any deviation from the baseline requires a formal change request. Changes to the baseline are approved in the integrated change control process, and we will learn more about that integrated process. So here, it serves as the official reference point against which project management is measured. Think of the baseline as your project's locked-in plan. Okay, so any changes will need to assess whether it's really required. For example, your project plan includes delivering 5 modules in 10 weeks at a cost of $100,000. So if the client asks for a 6th module or an early delivery date, you can just adjust the plan informally. You must assess the impact and submit a change request to update the baseline. Okay.
We'll move to integrated change control. Integrated, this is like a centralized process that ensures every change in a project, whether it's change to scope, schedule, cost, or quality, it's reviewed, evaluated, approved, or rejected in a controlled pattern or manner. It's called integrated because a change in one area usually affects others. For example, if you add scope, it would increase cost or extend schedule, or you may raise risk as well. So ICC makes sure all those impacts are understood before any decision is made. All changes request go through a change control board, CCB we call it, or a defined authority. Once a change is approved, the project management plan and baselines are updated. This keeps documentation synchronized. Communication is critical here. All stakeholder must be informed of approved or rejected changes, and integrated change control protects the integrity of the project baseline. Without it, we would risk chaos, rework, and uncontrolled scope creep as well. So very important. It's kind of a change control board that we go through. something for us to know. Contingency reserve is time or money set aside for known or unknowns, those risks that we would identify and analyze in the risk register. For example, if we know that hardware delivery might be delayed due to supplier risk, we can add 2-week contingency buffer to our schedule or cost reserve in our budget. Now, the project manager typically controls the contingency reserve. They can use it with a known risk, usually if it occurs, and it's planned and part of the cost baseline, unlike your management reserve, which is for unknown unknowns, and contingency is for known unknowns, and they are planned by higher management.
Next is management reserves that are for surprises, time or money set aside for unknown unknowns, unforeseen work not covered by the baseline. So the project manager typically needs sponsor approval to use this. And it's not part of the cost baseline, and it's not also identified in the risk register. Okay, so while contingency reserves, as we talked about, it's for known risks. These are for unknown unknowns, right? So this management reserves are outside the approved baseline, okay, and we cannot access them without sponsor or governance approval. So for example, midway through a project, a new regulatory requirement is introduced that affects your deliverables. It wasn't in the original scope or risk register. So to accommodate the extra work, you request access to the management reserve pending sponsor approval. Okay. Next is minimal viable product MVP. It is the smallest set of features or functionality that a customer will find valuable and can be delivered as a product. So it's a working version that solves a core problem or meets a key need. Okay, and the focus is on learning and delivering early value. All right. So instead of building everything at once, you identify the essential features that make the product usable and meaningful to the customer. This allows for faster feedback, reduce risk, and smarter iteration. So for example, if you are developing a fitness application, the MVP might include user login, workout tracking, and progress charts. Okay, I would like you to scan this barcode to join our LinkedIn study group. Okay, so you can leave your comments, questions. We definitely want to stay connected, and you can also have any topic that you would like to cover, post on this group, and we'll make it more engaged. Okay.
Do connect with us. So the next slide is on our LinkedIn, barcode. So you can just, if you want to be in touch with us, feel free. So we are available anytime if you need any other help on the study.
Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the PM Pulse, and turn on the notification icon.